Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 14, the penultimate episode of season 1. I've been looking forward specifically to this chapter since my editing journey began in November of 2023, because the focus of this video is 3 of the 4 Grandmaster quests: Monkey Madness 2, Song of the Elves, and Dragon Slayer 2. I wish I could include Desert Treasure 2 in this video as well, but it would be way too long and I wouldn't have any content for the season finale, chapter 15. And the reason why I'm so stoked and excited to share this with you guys is because I found these 4 Grandmaster quests to be the most epic and greatest old school RuneScape gaming experience I've had, period. The quests have incredible storylines, the fights are very challenging, and every time I shut down my computer for the day after completing one of these quests, I felt rewarded and I felt like I've accomplished something. Be warned that this video is going to be very long because I'm going to show you guys all these epic fights. But before we got into any of that, we needed to train our crafting to level 70 because it was a requirement for Monkey Madness 2. So we crafted some diamond bracelets using gold bars from our latest blast furnace training until we got to actually level 71. And then it was Sunday, my Chicago Bears were playing, so I needed a skill that I could do and watch the game at the same time. And 70 herb lore is a requirement for Song of the Elves, so it just made sense. We mixed super energy potions until we got to level 70 herb lore as well. So before we get into Monkey Madness 2, there's 2 points I would like to bring up. The first one is I did use a guide and the RuneLight plugin quest helper for these Grandmaster quests. I wish I could do them as intended without a guide like I typically do for quests I've never done before, but the reality of it is I've completed 155 quests in the span of 2 months, and I knew my brain wouldn't comprehend or my mental be able to handle me trying to figure these quests out by myself. I really wanted my quest cape. The second point is I'm quite under the recommended combat level for these quests and probably way under geared. So each fight was definitely a struggle and there was a lot of failed attempts. I'm going to talk about how many failed attempts specifically for each fight, but you will see the actual kill clips. Now I am level 90 combat with 75 ranged and 71 defense and 73 magic, just kind of for reference. And then moving into actual Monkey Madness 2 quest, I thoroughly enjoyed the lead up to the fight with Glue for this quest. I thought it was very engaging and interactive. I specifically liked the sneaking around the dock part. Thorin was very frustrated with that part specifically. He didn't have the patience for it, he told me, but I definitely enjoyed it. But I did find Monkey Madness 2 to be the easiest out of the 4 Grandmaster quests. But still, it was really nice to knock it out first. And here's the fight with Glue. Big yikes. Are you serious? got lucky there. Can you just hit this guy, please? Thank you. So it took us a bit long, but considering our level and our gear, I still thought it was a pretty good kill. We were able to get it on the 4th attempt after making small gear and inventory adjustments. Specifically, I went from sharks to mana rays, from prayer potions to super restores, and upgraded from diamond bolts to dragon bolts. And like I said, we were able to get that kill on the 4th attempt. Monkey Madness 2 gives us a buttload of experience as a reward, but ones that specifically gave us a level were 80k of Slayer to level 70 and 50k of Thieving to level 66. We also got the Royal Seed Pod, which is a level 30 Wilderness Teleport, very useful. And then the quest also gives us a myriad of Apatol related benefits in terms of gear and skilling and shops and things of that nature that you can read on the wiki. So it's a really good thing that this quest is now done. With the Song of the Elves next on the chopping block, I still needed to get to level 70 smithing. So we went to Blast Furnace and ran around making gold bars until we got that done. I'm still not using stamina potions. Eventually I'll figure that out. Not quite yet. And then the last requirement before we could actually start the quest was for us to get to 70 construction. Instead of sitting in the player's own house and just keep clicking the oak larders like I did to get to level 60. Very click intensive. My wrist was hurting. I actually decided to try the Mahogany Homes mini game. It's much cheaper. It does take more time though, but I wanted some variety and just kind of figure if I liked the minigame better. I did enjoy it quite a bit, so we stayed with it until we got to level 70 construction. And then with 70 construction, I could now upgrade some of those storage compartments in my costume room. So that's exactly what I did. So I can do some housekeeping, further housekeeping of my bank, take some of those special items from quests, from random events, outfits, and things of that nature, and put them in my player-owned house instead of my bank. Song of the Elves is a very compelling end to the Elf Saga. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It takes elements from all the previous quests, including, you know, the library portion with the mirrors and the crystals. Very reminiscent of Morning's End Part 2, although I believe that the library portion in Song of the Elves was much harder. Hats off to the first person that figured that out without a guide. My only problem and gripe with the quest, and I alluded to this in Chapter 3, is the treatment of Arianwen. It just seemed so out of place and awkward and weird that a staple character that's been on the side of the good for several quests in a row all of a sudden decided to betray us on a mere word of a sworn enemy, and then to just give him a quick redemption right after the fight with the Fragment of Saren. It just seems weird. It like so out of place. And I know in the original quest in RuneScape 3 they didn't do that, so I'm not sure why they put it in here. I understand character arcs, but that one just seemed weird. The Fragment of Saren, by the way, is a fight that is a great example of making adjustments in order to be able to beat the boss. When I initially, on my first attempt out of 5, we killed it on the 5th attempt. When my initial attempt, I went in there with the gear that you guys see on screen, and got nowhere close. I mean, I got to, I think, 60% health when I ran out of my entire inventory, so I had to pour it out. I made one small adjustment and brought Ceridome and Brews instead of just regular food, and still was only able to get to that 60% mark. The Iban's staff was not doing nearly enough damage. It wasn't fast enough. It wasn't accurate enough. So I needed to train my magic to 75. So I did so by superheating gold ore until we got to 75. We were only a level away, so it was pretty quick. Just so I can buy and use the Trident, because the Trident is much faster with a much more consistent hits, even though they're a lot smaller, but still a lot more consistent. And only then I was able to get in there and actually get him sub 50%. On tries 3 and 4, I realized that I need to make some upgrades in terms of my gear. So I bought the Dagonhide robes, and eventually on my 4th try, I made the last 2 adjustments, and that's bringing a Farseer helm and a Book of Darkness as opposed to the Unholy Book. Here is what my loadout looked like for the final kill, and we were finally able to get it. And here is the Fragment of Saren fight. Let's fucking go. Oh. If you guys are still here, I really appreciate it. I am probably at the lowest possible combat level I should be attempting these quests, so these fights do take forever. So really appreciate that you guys are still here. But Song of the Elves is now done. The quest gave us level bumps in agility to 74, in mining to 73, and woodcutting to 72. Also gave us access to the Privdina city, the Elven city. So I'm really happy now that we are 2 of 4 Grandmasters complete. After Song of the Elves, we trained Slayer. Now, not all 13 assignments were done consecutively right after the quest, but a good portion of them were. I just decided to lump all Slayer assignments we've done for this chapter into this one screenshot so we can just talk about it and save on time. The first thing to mention is we are no longer getting assignments from Konar. After Monkey Madness 2, we switched to Steve. And then the second thing is, whenever there's a bossing variety for a specific assignment, in this case, for example, Black Dragons and KBD, I decided to try at least a bossing version if it's feasible and it's not too big of a time waste or a money waste. KBD is certainly not. So if we get something fancy out of those bossing assignments, I'll let you guys know. We ended up getting 163.8k of Slayer experience across those 13 assignments. We got level bumps and everything that you see on screen on the right hand side, and most notably we got to 72 Slayer. One other byproduct of fighting with the Fragment of Saren and making these gear adjustments is I realized that I need to upgrade my capes via Mage Arena 2. So it was time to go back into the wilderness and fight the avatars of the 3 gods. In order to complete Mage Arena 2, I went ahead and defeated all of them. Again, you guys know how I feel about running around in the wilderness with gear that is required to kill one of these things. But this time, luckily, there were no pikers, and I was able to complete this mini quest in peace. And then here is my complete set of imbued and upgraded capes. The last requirement before we start Dragon Slayer 2 was to imbue our Salve Amulet specifically for the fight with Vorkath. We knew that we're going to need that in order to beat him. So I went to the Nightmare Zone and once again went in there for one session that totaled about an hour and a half, again using the Dara Great X absorption potion method until we got 1.5 mil Nightmare Zone points that we then spent 800k of them in order to imbue that Salve Amulet, and we were now ready to start Dragon Slayer 2. Out of all the Grandmaster quests, Dragon Slayer 2 is the one I was looking forward to the most. For 3 reasons, really. The first one was nostalgia, because Dragon Slayer 1 was a crown jewel of accomplishments for a free-to-play account, which I was, because I didn't have money as a kid to be a member. So getting that quest done meant a lot, and seeing how the story progresses all these years later, I was very excited about it. Which kind of rolls into the second reason, and that is I have an affinity for dragons and dragon-related lore in the fantasy realm. Always have since Heroes of Might and Magic 3 when I played all the factions that have dragons in them in 2001, 2002. My streaming channel is dragon themed with Nidhogg the Norse Dragon, so any story that has dragons in it is going to be dope. And then the third reason was Galvik, and I was excited for the fight with him. Several chapters ago, we were training cooking at Rogue's Den for King Abelvegi subquest for Recipe for Disaster. And next to me was a guy that was 126 and level 99 cooking. So I asked him, I'm like, bro, why are you here? I feel like you have bigger and better things to do in RuneScape than cooking at Rogue's Den. And he told me that he's on this hardcore Ironman account. He's some sort of a streamer, I forget his name. And that he was mentally preparing for the fight with Galvik because he said the fight is challenging. He's done it multiple times on his different accounts that weren't Iron Man, but this one was, and one simple mistake, and he loses years and years and years of progress. So, you know, and Thorm said that when he fought Galvik, it took him like 4 to 5 tries, and he's a much better gamer than me. So the idea that I'm going to spend pretty much days in there trying to beat him was something that I was excited for. Now, to the surprise of pretty much everybody probably that's watching, based off what you guys seen in these series, I actually killed Galvik on my second attempt. And really, the first attempt, is a mulligan and didn't really count because he hit me with the special attack right off the bat, and I didn't even know that the fight actually started. So then I was like, oh, I guess the fight started. And then I went back into the second attempt and we got the kill. Here's the gear that we had for Galvek, and then here's the kill. Oh, I fucked up. I'm dead. Oh. I already forgot what this phase is about. Oh. Ah, okay. Bro, what are you doing? Let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go, baby. That was lit. A bit of a long fight again, but still a good kill, even though I didn't really have to deal with his one-shot ability in the fourth phase, so really good RNG there. The quest gave us 80k of smithing experience that got us level 71, and also gave us 50k of thieving experience that got us to level 68. And then to wind down from all these Grandmaster quests, I went straight into thieving, pyramid plunder, to get our thieving to level 70. Once we got that, I realized that getting the rogue's outfit is probably a good idea for further pickpocketing, because we were going to move away from pyramid plunder. So we went to the rogue's den and played that minigame until we got all the pieces of the rogue's outfit. And then we returned to completing hard achievements. Now we've done pretty much every single hard achievement that we had a level for, but there's still some left that required us to kill a boss of some sort. So we targeted those, and we started in the desert with killing the Calphite Queen. That completed all of our hard desert achievements. The experience lamp that we got, 15k, we put towards rune crafting but got no level. And then we headed over to the Great Corn, killed us a Lizardman Shaman, which was our last hard achievement there. The 15k lamp we put towards rune crafting, and that got us to level 60 rune crafting. Also, while we were here, I got the entire Shazine outfit set, all 5 levels of it. I probably should have grinded this when I was grinding for Shazine rep, because it would have been, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone, but still we got it done. In order to complete all the Falador hard achievements, we needed to train our prayer to level 70, and considering that 1, we're getting all of our skills to level 70 anyway for the season finale, and then 2, prayer is an important skill to train regardless, we went to a gilded altar at a player-owned house and sacrificed some 1400 dragon bones until we got to level 70. That also gave us 94 combat. The experience lamp we got for completing all the Falador hard achievements, 15k we put towards rune crafting but got no level. Our focus then shifted to the Lumbridge hard achievements to upgrade our ring. Unfortunately, that meant hopping into the mage training arena to grind pizzazz points until we can cast Bones to Peaches. And it's been a while since I felt like I wasted my time in old school RuneScape, but this was just awful. I got through the telekinetic room, grinded that out to 200 pizzazz points, and then switched over to the graveyard room and knocked that out until I also got those 200 pizzazz points. And then I decided that if I don't stop doing Mage Training Arena and switch to something else, I'm gonna throw my keyboard through the window. What an awful experience this was. So I went to Mauritania. The last hard achievement that we had left over was for us to kill a cave horror. And imagine this, we pick one at random and it dropped us a black mask. What kind of luck is that? You just have to kill one cave horror and boom, the black mask drops. Easy 600, 700k. We turned that in to get a 15k experience lamp. That got us to level 61 rune crafting. And the last hard achievement that we could complete and get the lamp was Varrock. We needed to teleport with the Skull Scepter. So I went to the security stronghold. I've already had a piece from all the Ankus that I've been doing for Slayer. So we grinded out the other 3 creatures until all 4 pieces of the Skull Scepter were found. I combined them, I teleported, and that completed all the Varrock hard achievements, which gave me a 15k lamp that I put towards rune crafting and got no level. Which brings us to the end of this very, very long chapter. And for those of you that are still here with us 45 minutes later, I do appreciate it. I hope that you found the content entertaining. We ended up doing 22 farm runs and birdhouse runs that got us 2 farming levels and 2 hunter levels. And as far as the progress check, we went from 1581 to 1650 total skill. So some solid progress. And I do want to mention that 4 of our skills are still sub 70. If you remember from the prologue, one of my goals for this season was to get every single skill above 70. So that is going to be a focus for the next video, for the season finale, and Desert Treasure 2. So that's your teaser for the next video. Stay tuned to see how it all ends. And then kind of the theme of this video has been you guys watching me kill bosses. For the Western Provinces hard achievements, we still need 75 thieving to complete the last one, but we did have to kill Zulrah, and that was a 5-hour endeavor. Some 20, I think 3 attempts it took me to kill this guy, and I don't understand why I struggled so much with Zulrah when I did so well against all the Grandmaster and bosses. But anyway, to close the video out, for those of you guys that are interested, kind of as a parting goodbye, here is my Zulrah kill. And then again, guys, I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Range first is the easy. It's got to be the kill. Fuck. Oh no, come on. Cocksucker. Oh, it's not Jad?